Okay, guys, so now I'm going to move into some technique tips. So I've done up a whole heap of video for you, so you get the most out of this. So yeah, I'm going to go into these technique tips, just play the videos, and you can just watch them. So I've got five top ones. We've got foot placement, we've got pivot, lean, timing, and alternate your bloody legs. So as you can see in that image just there, you can see a lot of the things that for those tips there. So foot placement, that front foot is well outside that line. Like I said before, don't aim for your back foot to hit the line because you'll miss it. The pivot, I'll show you that pivot in one of the videos. Lean, look, that is me legitimately doing the beep test. That is how I do the beep test. I'm not just putting that on for this picture. Okay, so that lean helps with your acceleration to actually get out of that corner. Your timing, obviously you can't see that with that, but we'll go over it, and alternating your legs. So let's get into the videos. This tip for the beep test is all about foot placement. Now when you're conducting the beep test, only one foot has to reach on or over the line. So what you want to do when you're practicing is figure out where that front foot is going to land when your back foot crosses the line. Now, I wouldn't suggest aiming for your back foot to touch the line because you have to be way too accurate for that and you'll bugger it up at some point. So figure out where that front foot has to land outside of that line, and that's what you concentrate on going into the turn. What you want to avoid is both feet crossing the line. Now, this mightn't seem like much at the start, but over the course of the beep test, this will accumulate a lot more distance. This beep test tip is all about pivoting on that front foot when you come into the turn. Now you'll notice as I go into the turn, I place all the weight on my front foot and pivot around it so that when my back foot lands just outside the line, I'm ready to accelerate out of the turn. Now another thing I want you to take notice of, once I've completed the pivot, when I'm ready to accelerate out of the turn, you'll notice I'm in a proper sprinting position, like a starting position. My arms are alternated with my legs and I'm leant over, ready to accelerate out. Things that you want to avoid is anything that's going to slow down the turn. So any kind of hook turn where you go up to the line and you do a really big winding turn, or anything that you have to stop and turn with. Even if you are still pivoting, if you're pivoting on both feet, it is much slower as if you go up to the line and just pivot on that one foot and you're ready to accelerate straight away. This beep test tip is to get you to lean over that front leg so that you can accelerate out of the turn. Being able to accelerate out of the turn quickly will make a huge difference with your beep test score. And when it comes to acceleration, momentum is your friend. So you need to be leaning over that front foot so that you've got the momentum to accelerate out of the turn. As you pivot when you're conducting your turn, keep all the weight over that front leg by leaning into it. This will allow you to accelerate out of the turn quickly. Your back leg is just there to touch across the line and spring you out of the turn. What you want to avoid is staying upright during the turn because you're unable to accelerate quickly from this position. Timing your shuttles throughout the beep test is super important because for one, it'll save you energy so that you're not wasting energy running too quickly when you don't need to. But as well as that, it'll allow you to spring out of the turns by utilizing the elasticity in your muscles to create that force rather than creating it from a stationary position. During the early levels, you just need to take your time. You don't have to get to the line on the beep just because they are pretty slow to start with. You just need to take your time and stay relaxed and don't waste a whole heap of energy sprinting into the other end when you don't need to. As the levels increase, you'll start to find your timing. And what you want is to be reaching the line at the beep so that that back foot crosses the line and touches the ground as the next beep goes so that you can just spring off into the next shuttle.
Level 30.
During the earlier stages of the beep test, you want to be alternating your legs each shuttle. This is so that you don't burn out one of your legs just turning on that side every time. If you are much better turning on the one leg, then wait until the shuttles get a little bit faster before you just favouring the one side. A good way to practice this is just by using one line and just walking up to the line, turning on each side. The more comfortable you get with it, just speed up the movement until you're doing it at full speed. Alrighty, so that's it for the beep test technique tips. Now, when you're practicing these things, just take it really easy. Just have a line like I had there, just a couple of markers, and just use that one line, just walking back and forth like I was doing, and just really dial it in without any sort of speed at all. Get that pivot, get that lean. Everything can be done at a walking pace to start with, so that's really ingrained in you, so that when you do actually go to speed it up, you can still stick to it. So just do it walking to start with, then start jogging. Again, just use that same line, jog in, take off, and make sure when you're taking off out of it, you don't just sort of just take it really easy and just sort of flop out of it. Actually accelerate out of it. That makes a huge difference, that acceleration from that corner, and that first like quarter of your beep test will really set you up for the other side. So yeah, do it, go in doing it jogging, and then start to do it full speed. Now, once you can do it full speed, then start actually practicing it with the audio. So get the beep test set up and start to practice it with the beep test going as well. Okay, so a couple of bonus tips here. Now, breathing. Breathing is a big one if you're not being conscious of it. So what you need to do, especially in those very first, few levels that, shouldn't be taking too much effort, is just really concentrate on your body relaxing and breathing properly. Breathe in through your nose, keeping everything like super relaxed and nice, big, deep breaths. And if you've been practicing it through your base and build and peak phase, then this should just be a no-brainer for you. It should be happening already. Now, micro goals and resets. Like I was saying before, your mind is a huge part in this. A really good technique, and this is not just with the beep test, it's with so many different things, but yeah, you can do it with the beep test as well. So what you want to be doing is setting micro goals. Now, what you don't want to do is be like, okay, I've only got to get to 7.5. That's all I'm doing. You don't want to be setting a goal that you're finished. You want to be breaking it up, just bracketing this thing into, smaller chunks. So if you're at level 5, all right, let's just think about level 5.6, okay? Let's concentrate on 5.6. 5.6, do your shuttles. All right, that's 5.6, reset. And your mind is really good at forgetting what you just did. So now let's concentrate on 6.2. 6.2, let's go to 6.2. All right, 6.2. Next, what are we going to do? All right, do that. And I can assure you, your mind it's really good at doing that sort of stuff. And make sure you just, once you get there, you reset, you're on to the next one. It's not setting goals that, let's just go to 6.5. That's all I'm doing. I just need to make it a 6.5. That's not what you're doing. You're bracketing up and setting those, you're just concentrating on a smaller portion rather than thinking, shit, I've got to go all the way to 7.5. That's ages away. Don't even think about 7.5. Just think about, to start with 3.5, 4.5 or whatever it is for you. Okay. Don't stress over missed timings. So like I was saying before, you get a warning if you miss one beep, but you can catch it up on the next one. So don't think you have to be flat out and make it to the line before the beep. Who cares? A lot of times I miss a beep in those very first few stages because I'm just taking it too slow. And then you can just pick it up on the next one. And then even the same thing happens when you're going like at a faster pace as well. Don't think just because you missed one beat, you're out. You can catch it up. So if your mind's strong and you can catch up to that one, you know, you've got a couple more in you that you can maybe get, you can maybe improve your score. And your shoes, all right? I've actually run into some issues with shoes with the beat test of rolling under my feet. So you don't really want to be wearing, if you've got the option here, you don't really want to be wearing like long distance road running type shoes with a whole heap of cushion, because they haven't got much stability and they roll around. More of the type of shoe that you want to be wearing with a beat test is more like a trainer, like a flat sole, and they're a little bit harder to, and they don't really roll around on your feet. And you'll find when you're gripping into those corners, you can grip and go a lot better than if you were trying to do it with something big, big and soft and cushiony on your feet.